Hello, good evening to all of you. Just once confirm me that my voice is audible and the presentation is visible to all of you. Although there is very less number of participants, but maximum of them will join in due course. So just confirm me once that my voice is audible and the presentation is visible to you so that we can start the discussion, so that we can start the session. Today is the last day of our 3 days extended session on GST law. So just once confirm me that voice is audible. Yes, sir. So today we are going to start our discussion on e-way bill and job work and certain important judgments as I committed with the note. Okay. So लास्ट 2 days के अंदर हम लोगों ने वी हैड ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड ऑन मल्टीपल टॉपिक जस्ट लाइक इंपोर्ट एंड एक्सपोर्ट जस्ट लाइक प्रोविजंस रिलेटेड टू रिवर्स चार्ज मैकेनिज्म just like provisions related to our refund related matters. We had covered already all those points. Okay, sir. So now today we are going to start our discussion with e-way bill and job work, and the other point is our important case studies. Okay, sir. And if you want discussion on any other point, then this is my request to you. Please comment in the chat box so that I can take that point also. Although there is no issue, post session. If you have any query, you are free to raise the queries in the WhatsApp group or on my WhatsApp number. I will provide you the reply in a sufficient time, in a given time, as per my schedule. Okay, sir. So first, I just want to discuss on the term job work. Sir, as a chartered accountant, as a tax consultant, as a legal practitioner, in GST, this word is very much common. Job work. Okay. Whether it is in a steel industry or whether it is in a textile industry or whatever type of industry, the job work is the mandatory thing in each and every industry because there is a huge quantum or huge volume of work. Okay. And I need to assign my certain work to certain other party. Okay. In that case, I need to provide that work for job work. Okay. So the basic thing is that suppose there is one industry that is Nakoda Industries. Okay. Nakoda Industries is involved in the business of manufacturing of textile products. Okay. In case of textile, they are buying gray from Maharashtra, Nasik, or whatever will be the district or whatever will be the area from where they are going to buy the gray. Okay, that is Nakoda Industry is going to buy the gray from Maharashtra, Nasik, or Ichalkaranji, or whatever will be the district where the work of the gray is done. Okay, so Nakoda Industry is going to buy that gray, and they are doing the processing on that particular gray. They are doing the printing work. They are doing the stitching work. They are doing the dyeing work. They are doing the cutting work. Okay, so in that case, suppose for dyeing and for cutting they are providing the cloth to certain other parties. Suppose there is one more parties here, XYZ, and they are providing that particular gray cloth to that XYZ limited for or entity XYZ for dyeing and for cutting. Okay, in that case, Nakoda Industry is going to supply that particular gray to that XYZ person for dyeing and textile is called that Nakoda Industries has provided that particular goods to XYZ for job work. Okay, so sir, I just want to explain the nature of transaction. Okay, first I want to clear the transaction. Then after we are going to talk on the point related to law and point related to compliances. Here, Nakoda Industries sending gray to Mr. X for job work. Okay, Mr. X is going to complete that particular job work and send back that particular goods to Nakoda Industries. Okay, and then after Nakoda Industries going to do the further work. Okay, so that is what is the concept of job work. जब नाकोडा इंडस्ट्रीज यहां से गुड्स भेजेगा एट दैट टाइम ई वे बिल इज रिक्वायर्ड. जब एक्स वापस नाकोडा इंडस्ट्रीज को गुड मिलेगा एट दैट टाइम ई वे बिल इज रिक्वायर्ड. दिस इज द वन स्ट्रक्चर. सपोज आई जस्ट वांट टू टेक द नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल. सर सिचुएशन कॉम्प्लिकेटेड होती जाएगी. यू जस्ट नीड टू बी कॉन्सेंट्रेट इन दैट केस. ओके, सपोज हियर नाकोडा इंडस्ट्रीज ग्रे क्लॉथ प्रोवाइड करवाता है मिस्टर एक्स को. ओके, फॉर डाइंग. X again sended that goods to Y for dyeing or for cutting, and then after Y is going to return back that particular goods to Mr. X, and X is going to return back that particular finished goods to Nakoda Industries. This is also called as job work. So sir, this is the nature of transaction. I just want to ensure that the nature of transactions is okay in your mind. Okay, I am a manufacturer. I am going to send that particular product to Mr. X for manufacturing, and X is going to further send that particular product to Mr. Y for manufacturing, and Y is going to send that product to X, and X is going to send back that product to Nakoda Industries. Okay, or one more transaction is possible. Y is directly sending that particular goods to Nakoda Industries after final job work process. So these are the probable situations. Okay. बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो जाता है। कई बार क्या होता है, हम लोग सिचुएशन समझ नहीं पाते हैं, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड द सिचुएशन, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड द ट्रांजेक्शंस, एंड एट द टाइम ऑफ बिजनेस ऑडिट, एट द टाइम ऑफ लिटिगेशन, वी आर गोइंग टू फेस द मल्टीपल प्रॉब्लम्स. So I just want to share certain important things with you regarding the nature of transactions. Okay, I know very well you already know that these type of transactions happens. Okay, but how we can do deal with these type of transaction in an efficient way, this is the biggest question. Suppose I am just taking the example of textile industry. You may connect that particular industry with this particular example with any other industry. You can take the example of steel industry, you can take the example of hydrogen industry. There is no problem with that. Suppose I am a manufacturing unit. That is, our Nakoda Industries is a manufacturing unit. Okay, and Nakoda Industries is buying grape from Malegaon, Nasik. Okay, Nakoda Industries is buying grape. Suppose Nakoda Industry has bought that particular goods from Nasik, Malegaon grape. Okay, and Nakoda Industry is situated in Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Okay, so the grey cloth is received at the transporter place, and if Nakoda Industries is directly sending that particular goods from the transporter place to the place of job worker, in that case, if the transporter place is not registered as an additional place of business in the GST credentials of Nakoda Industries, in that case, from that particular place, that is from the place of transporter, you cannot send that particular goods to the place of job worker directly. Sir, you got my point? Just once confirm in the chat box that the situation is clear, because many times we found these type of issues. So I just want that this situation is clear in your mind, that you are not eligible to send the particular goods from the place of transporter to the place of job worker for job work without registering that transporter place as your additional place of business. Sir, got my point? So first point is that if you are going to send that particular product from transporter place directly, in that case, if you are going to send from transporter place, add that place as your additional place of business. Okay. Now, second point, sir, you are sending that particular goods for job work purposes, okay, to the place of job worker. And if your job worker is unregistered, job worker unregistered, in that case there is also requirement that job worker place should be registered as additional place of business. सर ये बहुत छोटी छोटी सी चीजें हैं, हमको लगता है कि इज दैट ओके, अगर नहीं किया तो क्या हो जाएगा. एट द टाइम ऑफ बिजनेस ऑडिट, एट द टाइम ऑफ लिटिगेशन, दे आर गोइंग चेक योर जॉब वर्क चालान रजिस्टर और जॉब वर्क रजिस्टर. एट दैट टाइम, if they found that the transporter place, there is goods is directly sending from the transporter place and transporter place is not registered as a additional place of business, in that case they are going to treat that particular transfer as sales and charge GST at the specified rate. So complete job work को वो सेल मान लेंगे और they are going to impose GST on that, or at that time we cannot do anything. So this is in a very dangerous situation, we should be very much careful for that. Okay sir, so transporter place wala concept and job worker place wala concept is okay for you. Now third point, sir, job work register should be maintained properly. job worker register should be maintained properly. If you have 3 to 4 job worker, 5 job worker, 10 job worker, 20 job worker, then in that case you need to maintain the detail job worker wise also, and you need to maintain the detail consolidated also. Okay, so you need, for that purpose you just need to maintain the accounting accordingly. Okay, there are certain accounting features available in each and every accounting software. You just need to connect with the administrator and they will enable the features in that particular software. Okay, now sir, biggest issue is your ITC 04. So this is mandatory to file form ITC 04, and in that particular form you just need to fill the details that how much you are going to send for job work, आपने कितना डायरेक्टली सेल कर दिया फ्रॉम द प्लेस ऑफ जॉब वर्कर, what data or what goods you are getting back from the place of job worker, what is your loss in that particular place. So, for maintaining these details, you just need to maintain your accounting properly. You should connect with your client, you should connect with the accountant of your client. And if you are not going to follow this principle, if you are not going to follow the file ITC 04, in that case, department is going to treat that particular transfer as a sale and they are going to charge GST on that. Or at that time, only one option we have to file a writ petition in High Court. उसका डिसीजन कब आएगा क्या होगा पता नहीं. ओके, और वहां पर भी कितने सारे एक्सपेंसेस होने वाले हैं. फॉर दैट पर्पस दिस इज माय सजेशन टू यू, इफ इट इज पॉसिबल फ्रॉम द नेचर ऑफ योर बिजनेस, देन प्रिपेयर योर अकाउंटिंग अकॉर्डिंगली. Suggest your client ke prepare your accounting accordingly. Okay, in case of steel industry, in case of any other industry, this is very easily possible. Okay, they just need to enable the inventory feature in the accounting software. Okay, and make the accounting accordingly. But in case of textile manufacturer, there are certain hurdles. Okay, so they need to be very much careful for that. So sir, in case of job worker place, if job worker is unregistered, then add that place as an additional place of business. If job worker is registered, there is no problem with that. If you are going to send your product directly from the place of transporter, you should register your transporter place as additional place of business. ITC 04 is mandatory, so you just need to suggest your client to maintain the accounting accordingly. Sir, is that okay? Job work is okay for you? Now sir, e-way bill in case of job work. So in that case, you just need to issue the e-way bill. You just need to issue the, suppose Nakoda industry is going to send that particular product for job work purposes. In that case, Nakoda industry has to issue the e-way bill. Okay, Nakoda industry has to issue the e-way bill. And at that time, when they are transferring that particular goods to Mr. X for job work purposes, in that case, they need to maintain the quantity and amount in that particular e-way bill that they are going to send that particular product to the job worker place for job work, and the quantity is as follows. Okay, or when job worker is going to return back that particular product, he need to add two lines. Okay, one line is job work charges is 10,000 rupees and GST on that particular job work charges is this. So that is what is the principle we need to follow in case of job worker. मल्टीपल टाइम हम लोग क्या होता है, जब मैं व्हेन वी आर गोइंग टू चेक द ई वे बिल इन केस ऑफ जॉब वर्कर, हम लोग ये फाइंड करते हैं, वी फाउंड दैट एट दैट टाइम they are preparing the e-way bill just mentioning the value of the product. They are maintaining the just value of the particular product, okay, at the time of sending, and charging GST on that particular product, completely product. So this is not in a right way. You just need to mention the value and the quantity. Okay, because no GST should be charged at the time when you are going to send that particular product for job work purposes. When job worker again sending back that particular product to the principal place of business, in that case he need to issue two points. One point is related to the goods, another point is related to the job work charges, and on that particular charges he needs to charge the GST. Okay sir, so yes sir, we are I am also going to take the query, not an issue. First query related to documentation part. First query related to documentation part. In that particular case, in case you are going to send that particular goods to that particular job worker, in that case you just need to issue the delivery challan, and on the basis of that delivery challan you just need to issue the goods. Okay, so one document is required, one is which is delivery challan, when you are going to send that particular product for job work purposes. Okay sir, delivery challan plus your e-way bill, no other detail is required. Now sir, suppose, is that okay, Ramesh ji? You got my point? That only delivery challan and e-way bill is sufficient in case of job work when you are going to send that particular product for job work purposes. And when job worker is going to send back that particular product to you, that is to principal, in that case, he is going to issue the job work that is delivery challan plus job work challan plus the invoice of their services and e-way bill. Okay. So when you are going to send, that is Nakoda industry is going to send that particular product to the job worker place, job work चालान वापस रिसीव कर रहा है, at that time delivery चालान plus invoice plus e-way bill, these documents are mandatory. Okay, these documents are mandatory in case of job work. Now sir, suppose Nakoda industry is sending that particular product to Mr. X for job work, and Nakoda industry is sending that selling that particular product directly from the place of that Mr. X, that is from the place of job worker. In that case there is no any other treatment is required. Nakoda industry is going to issue the invoice. Okay, Nakoda industry is going to issue the invoice and generate the e-way bill, and generate the e-way bill. एंड इन दैट केस ऑफ ई वे बिल के अंदर उसे जो गुड्स उठाने का एड्रेस लेना है, जहां पर गुड्स अभी स्टोर है, इन दैट केस ही इज गोइंग टू नाकोडा इंडस्ट्री इज गोइंग टू मेंशन द एड्रेस ऑफ मिस्टर एक्स एंड फ्रॉम द एड्रेस ऑफ बायर. This is the process which is followed by the Nakoda Industries. But in that case, Nakoda Industries is going to issue the e-way bill and the invoice, and the same is sending to the final consumer. Okay, sir. Sarath ji, is that okay? In case if you are going to sell any particular thing for job work, in that case there is no requirement to mention the same in GSTR1 return. Okay, if you are going to mention the same in GSTR1 return, in that case you need to charge the GST, so there is no relevance of that, so there is no requirement for that. Or your question is that okay, how you are going to match the same with e-way bill? So your ITC 04 will be your ITC 04 will be reconciled with your e-way bill portal. Okay, सपोज आपका क्वेश्चन ये है, योर डाउट इज दैट सपोज द फर्म इज डीलिंग इन सेलिंग एज वेल एज इन जॉब वर्क. ओके, दैट इज सेंडिंग द गुड्स टू जॉब वर्क. So there is e-way bill on account of sales and there is e-way bill on account of job work. Okay, sir, this is your question. So at that time, departmental audit, they are going to reconcile the selling figure from the GSTR1 and job work figure from ITC 04. Okay, so reconciliation is required from your side and you should submit the reconciliation to the departmental authority. Yes, departmental authority is going to ask the question that why there is difference between the sales as per e-way bill and as per GSTR1. At that time, you just need to give the same explanation. Also, when you are going to issue the e-way bill, there are one question asking, that is it is an invoice, it is an a delivery challan, it is an a for job work purposes. You just need to select the job work, so this is automatically reconciled with the ITC 04. There is no requirement to reconciliation with GSTR1, although the GSTN portal at the current time is not so efficient, so at that time require the reconciliation. But in future there is no requirement of reconciliation, because in e-way bill you are going to select the tab, and from that particular tab automatically reconciled with the GST ITC 04. Okay sir, so this is what is the complete concept of ITC 04 and job work. Job work register maintain करना is mandatory. You need to file the form ITC 04. There is requirement for registration as an additional place of business of your unregistered job worker and the transporter place. These are the basic things which we need to be taken care. If we are going to follow these principles, this is my guarantee to you, at the time of departmental audit you can easily solve the issues related to job work. Okay sir, so now I am going to start my discussion on account of e-way bill. Sir, there is nothing important in case of e-way bill, but to generate e-way bill it is mandatory. Okay, and to generate proper e-way bill it is also mandatory. आप खाली e-way bill generate कर रहे हो, you are going to generate the e-way bill for each and every invoice, but you are not going to put the correct figure in that particular e-way bill. In that case you need to be very much careful. Or one more suggestion from my side, in case of e-way bill you should give your special care, because e-way bill completely handled by your client or at the place of your client. You are not going to do any interfere in that particular case. Okay, your client and your the accountant of your client is going to do that particular work of e-way bill. They are going to generate the e-way bill, they are going to do all the tasks. Okay, but suppose you are going to file the GSTR one of that particular client from the software, whatever will be the accounting, so whatever will be the written filing software, it may be computer office or whatever will be. Okay, there is one facility available in each and every software, reconciliation of sales with e-way bill. When you are going to put the data in that particular software, just on one click you can get the reconciliation. Okay, and from that reconciliation you can got the idea that there is no any huge difference between the sales as per e-way bill and sales as per GSTR1. You should, according to me, you should do this task. There is no any criteria to return back that particular goods within 6 months. Yes, there is one criteria that you are going to send that particular goods for job work purposes. In that case financial year end होने के 6 month में अगर वो goods back नहीं आता है, in that case we suppose that the same should be as a sales. Okay, so this is the criteria available. So you need to be very much careful for that also when you are going to do the audit of your client. Is that okay? Now, in case of e-way bill, we just need to guide once our client, and we are going to train our client in case of e-way bill. I think in future there is no any requirement to guide, because एक बार अगर आपने उसको गाइड कर दिया तो उसको समझ आ जाएगा. So now, for our better understanding purposes, I am just going to read the law. So, first of all, rule number 138, information to be furnished prior to commencement of movement of goods and generation of e-way bill. That means e-way bill is directly related to your movement of goods. When there is a movement of goods, at that time you just need to generate the e-way bill. Sir, I am going to take that e-way bill point from the basic till the advanced level. Okay. So हम लोग बेसिक से समझ रहे हैं, हमको ई-वे बिल के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं आता है. Okay, I am supposing that we have no knowledge regarding the e-way bill, and we are going to start the topic. Every registered person who causes movement of goods for of the consignment value exceeding 50,000 rupees. Okay, maybe this is different from state to state. In case of Rajasthan, there is a limit of 2 lakh rupees. Okay, so limit will be different in relation to supply for reason other than supply due to inward supply from an unregistered person. In these cases e-way bill is mandatory. So sir, situation is clear. When I am going to make the supply, I need to issue the e-way bill. When I am going to make the supply other than supply, suppose I am going to sell that send that particular product on job work basis, I am going to send that particular product for repair and maintenance. Okay, in that case also there is requirement of e-way bill. And when I am going to bought certain product from an unregistered person, in that case I need to generate the e-way bill. These are the three situations in which e-way bill is mandatory. Okay sir, before commencement of such movement, furnish information relating to said goods as specified in Part A of Form GST EWB01 electronically. That means you need to generate the e-way bill on the common portal. Okay. On the common portal, along with such other information as may be required on the common portal, and a unique number will be generated on the said portal. Okay. You are going to get the unique number when you are going to generate the e-way bill. So, provided that the transporter or the authorization received from the registered person may furnish information in part A of form GST AWB01. That means supplier can issue the e-way bill. If I am going to bought that particular product from unregistered person, in that case, recipient can also generate the e-way bill, or the transporter can also generate the e-way bill. That means there are three authorized person to generate the e-way bill: supplier, recipient, and transporter. So not to confuse in that particular case, because multiple time client is asking that, sir, can supplier is issue the e-way bill, or can recipient is issue the e-way bill, or can and transport is generate the e-way bill. So yes, three of the parties can generate the e-way bill electronically on the common portal along with such other information as may be required. Okay. Provided further that where the goods to be transported are supplied through an e-commerce operator or an courier agency on an authorization received from the consignor, the information in form GST EWB01 may be furnished by such e-commerce operator or courier agencies. Okay, suppose if I am going to sell my particular product from the Flipkart, Amazon, or Misho, in that case, there is one more authority in hand of Amazon or Misho. They can also issue the e-way bill. They can also generate the e-way bill. Okay, sir. Now, provided also that where goods are sent by a principal located in one state and union territory to the job worker located in the any other state or union territory, the e-way bill shall be generated either by the principal or job worker if registered, irrespective of the value of consignment. Because in case of interstate supply, there is a mandatory requirement for generating the e-way bill. Okay, sir. So as per my opinion, you should generate the e-way bill in each and every case. Okay, so that it is a foolproof evidence in your hand that you had done the supply. Now, sir, in case of job worker, we have already discussed a point regarding job worker. In that case, job worker can issue the e-way bill or the principal can issue the e-way bill, but the condition is that if the job worker is registered, in that case job worker can issue the e-way bill. If job worker is unregistered, in that case this is logical point that in that case principal has to generate the e-way bill. Provided also that where handicraft goods are transported from one state or union territory to another state or union territory by a person who has been exempted from the requirement of obtaining registration under clause 1 2 of section 24, the e-way bill shall be generated by the said person irrespective of the value of consignment. That means, once again, I am going to read that particular line because this is in a very important para. Provided also that where handicrafted goods are transported from one state or union territory to another state or union territory by a person who has been exempted from the requirement of obtaining the registration under GST, in that case, the e-way bill shall be generated by said person irrespective of the value of consignment. That means, in that case, recipient has to issue the e-way bill. Okay, because supplier is exempted because supplier turnover is reduced or supplier turnover is below the specified limit. In that case, recipient has to generate the e-way bill. Okay, sir. Now, for the purpose of this rule, the expression handicraft goods has the meaning as assigned to it in the Government of India Ministry of Finance notification number 56 beta 2018 Central Tax dated 23 October 2018 published in the official gazette. Okay, so for handicraft product, this is a specific provision, and if you are dealing with a client which is completely involved with the handicraft product, in that case you need to be very much careful for that. Okay, sir. Now, explanation number 2. For the purpose of this rule, the consignment value of goods shall be the value determined in accordance with the provision of section 15 of CGST Act we had already discussed. Okay, declared in the invoice, a bill of supply or the delivery challan as the case may be issued in respect of said consignment, and also includes the CGST, SGST, UTGST, IGST cess charge if any in the document, and shall exclude the value of exempt supply goods where the invoice is issued in respect of both exempt as well as taxable goods. That means there is no requirement to issue the e-way bill in case of exempted goods. If I am dealing in the exempted goods, in that case there is no requirement to issue the e-way bill. Okay, so there is requirement to issue the e-way bill in case of taxable goods only. Okay, sir. Now, if you have any query, immediately ask the query in the chat box. Okay, sir. Now, where the goods are transported by the registered person as a consignor or the recipient of supply as the consignee, whether in his own conveyance or a hired one or a public conveyance by road, the said person shall generate e-way bill in form GST EWB01 electronically on the common portal after furnishing information in part B of form GST EWB01. Basically, हम लोग ये देखते हैं, we are finding that the part B is generated by the transporter. Okay, but if you are going to use your own vehicle or hired vehicle or the public transportation, in that case public transporter is not going to fill the part B. In that case you just need to fill the part B in that particular case. Okay sir. So कई बार हम लोग कंफ्यूज होते हैं, क्लाइंट एक क्वेश्चन पूछता है कि मैं अगर अपनी खुद की गाड़ी में लेकर के जा रहा हूँ, इफ आई एम गोइंग टू यूज माय ओन व्हीकल, in that case e-way bill is required. So yes, e-way bill is required in that case also, and in that case part B supplier को खुद को ही यहाँ पर fill करना पड़ेगा. Okay, there is no transporter. So in case of own, in case of hired, or in case of public transporter, part B has to be filled by the supplier itself. Okay, where the goods are transported by railway, air or vessel, the e-way bill shall be generated by the registered person being the supplier or the recipient who shall either before or after commencement of movement furnish on the common portal and information in part B of form GST EWB01. That means in case of railway, in case of air, in case of vessel, e-way bill can be generated by the supplier or recipient. Transporter is not going to generate the e-way bill. That means railway authority, aircraft authority or vessel authority is not going to issue the e-way bill or generate the e-way bill, or not going to fill the part B of the e-way bill. Okay sir. So if possible, then prepare the chart according to situation, that in case of normal, three parties can issue the e-way bill, three parties can generate the e-way bill. But in the particular cases when the conveyance is owned or hired or public transporter, in that case part B shall be generated by the supplier or recipient. In case of air, vessel, and in case of railway, part B can be filled by supplier or recipient only. Okay, now provided that where the goods are transported by railway, or the railway shall not deliver the goods unless the e-way bill required under these rules is produced at the time of delivery. So there is requirement of e-way bill. Okay sir. So this is a basic provision. In case of if you are going to use the government authority tools for transporting that particular products, in that case e-way bill is mandatory. Without e-way bill they are not going to transport your product and they are not going to deliver the product. Where the e-way bill is not generated under sub-rule 2, the goods are handed over to the transporter for transportation by road, and the registered person shall furnish the information relating to the transporter on the common portal, and the e-way bill shall be generated by the transporter on the said portal on the basis of information furnished by the registered person, part A of form GST EWB01. That means if the supplier or recipient is not going to generate the part B of e-way bill, in that case the airport authority, the railway authority is going to give that particular product to the transporter, or at that time transporter is going to generate the e-way bill on the basis of information which is furnished in the part A of e-way bill. Sir, that is what is the mechanism. Sir, please confirm once in the chat box that you got the point. These points are very much relevant, that who can generate the e-way bill. Sir, is that okay? Who can generate the e-way bill? Provided that the registered person or the transporter may at his option generate and carry the e-way bill even if the value of consignment is less than 50,000 rupees. So this is the optional method for them. Now, provided further that where the movement is caused by an unregistered person either in his own convenience or hired one and through a transporter, he or the transporter may at their option generate the e-way bill in form GST EWB01 on the common portal manner specified. We had already discussed on that. Provided also that where the goods are transported for a distance of up to 50 kilometers within the state or union territory from the place of business of the consigner to the place of business of the transporter for the further transportation, the supplier or recipient, as the case may be, transporter may not furnish the details of conveyance in part B of form GST EWB01. That means if you are going to transfer that particular goods from one transporter to the another transporter place, in that case there is no requirement to furnish the part B of form EWB01. Okay, sir. So in that case there is no requirement if the distance is up to 50 kilometers. If the distance is above 50 kilometers, in that case no separate two separate e-way bill is required. Okay, sir. Now, for the purpose of this sub-rule, where the goods are supplied by annual registered supplier to a recipient who is registered, the movement shall be said to be caused by such recipient if the recipient is known at the time of commencement of goods. Okay, so these are the very basic provisions. We just need to keep in our mind one thing, that in normal cases, supplier, recipient, or transporter can generate the e-way bill. Okay, in case of public transportation, in case of own transportation, supplier should generate the part B of e-way bill. Okay, or if you are going to use the railway aircraft vessel, in that case there is no requirement to generate the part B by the railway vessel or aircraft authority. Supplier or recipient has to generate the part B of e-way bill. These are the common points which we need to take care in our mind while doing the e-way bill related matter. Upon generation of e-way bill on the common portal, a unique e-way bill number EBN shall be made available to the supplier and the recipient and the transporter on the common portal. This number is here. Okay, because जब हम लोग goods का movement होता है, at that time if department is going to seize your particular goods in between the way, in that case first they are going to demand you the invoice and the e-way bill. Okay, and on the basis of that they are going to decide the situation. If you are not going to provide the e-way bill, in that case this is a dangerous situation for you. Although we are going to discuss on one or two case studies if time permits, if there is any mistake in your e-way bill, but your intention is um, not to lose any revenue of the government, in that case you can argue for that. Okay, there are multiple judgments are available in case of e-way bill, so we need to be very much careful for that, because abhi ke time mein ho kya raha hai, in current situation departmental authorities are detaining the goods in on the way. Okay, and they are saying that your e-way bill has got expired and there is no data is fitted in the e-way bill. There is mistake, there is typing mistake in the e-way bill, there is other detail is not fitted in the e-way bill. In that case you can argue on that. ओके, वरना वो लोग 100% पेनल्टी आप पे इम्पोज करने वाले हैं. दे आर गोइंग टू इम्पोज 100% पेनल्टी ऑन यू. But in that case, you can argue with reference of certain judgments which is pronounced by the High Court, different High Courts, different double R authorities, different triple R authorities. So we need to be very much careful for that in case of e-way bill especially. Now, where the goods are transferred from one conveyance to another, the consignor or the recipient who has provided information in part A of the GST EWB01 or the transporter shall before such transfer and movement update the details of conveyance in the e-way bill on the common portal in part B of GST EWB01. Okay, so if there is any changes in the detail, in that case you just need to update the same in form GST EWB01. Okay, part B, you can update the same in the part B, provided that where the goods are transported for a distance of up to 50 kilometers within the state or union territory from the place of business of the transporter finally to the place of business of the consignee, the details of conveyance may not be updated in the e-way bill. Okay, suppose if there is distance is only 50 kilometer, there is no requirement to update the e-way bill. But if the distance is above 50 kilometer, in that case there is requirement to update the details. Sir, nahi samajh aaya. What is the situation? What you are going to say? We are not getting the point. So I am just going to take the example. Suppose मैंने यहां से कोई गुड्स ट्रांसपोर्ट किया. दिस इज द ट्रांसपोर्टर प्लेस. और जो मेरा बायर है, हु इज बायर इज मिस्टर अभिषेक. So, in that case, the goods has already reached to the place of transporter, and transporter has to supply that particular goods to the place of Mr. Abhishek. And if the distance is up to 50 kilometers, in that case, there is no requirement to update the part B of e-way bill. Okay, but if the distance is above 50 kilometers, that means the transporter place and the place of Mr. Abhishek is more than 50 kilometer, the difference is more than 50 kilometer. In that case, there is requirement to generate, to update part B. That means you can update the part B of e-way bill. So in that case, suggest your client accordingly. Because कई बार होता क्या है, ट्रांसपोर्टर के प्लेस पे गुड्स पहुंच जाता है और वो ट्रांसपोर्टर उसे जो कंसाइन है उसके वहां तक पहुंचा देता है. अगर डिस्टेंस 50 किलोमीटर से ज्यादा है तो भी वो पहुंचा देता है. और इस बीच में if department is going to detain the particular goods, at that time they are going to demand for the penalty, because at that time you need to update the e-way bill part B of e-way bill and you had not done the same, so they are going to impose the penalty on you. So this is a specific situation, hence I am going to take the example. I had taken that example, so please be very much careful for that. Okay. Or sir, one more suggestion from my side. ये सारी की सारी चीजों का आप लोग ध्यान नहीं रख पाओगे. यू आर नॉट एबल टू टेक केयर ऑफ ऑल दीज थिंग्स. फॉर दैट पर्पस यू जस्ट नीड टू गाइड टू योर क्लाइंट, यू जस्ट नीड टू सजेस्ट टू योर क्लाइंट. As per my opinion, you just need to take one monthly meeting with your clients. Okay, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you just need to take one meeting with your clients so that it is beneficial for you as well as for your clients. Now, the consignor or the recipient who has furnished the information in Part A of Form GST EWB01 or the transporter may assign the e-way bill number to another registered or enrolled transporter for updating the information in Part B of Form GST EWB01. That means updation can be done by another transporter. ओके जरूरी नहीं है कि जिस ट्रांसपोर्टर की आईडी वहां पर है वही ई-वे बिल के पार्ट बी को अपडेट करे. Another transporter can also update the part B of the e-way bill. Okay, another transporter has also the authority, provided that after the details of conveyance have been updated by the transporter in part B of form GST EWB01, the consigner or the recipient, as the case may be, who has furnished the information in part A of form GST EWB01 shall not be allowed to assign the e-way bill number to another transporter. Once transporter file part B, then transporter cannot be changed. Okay, transporter can assign that work to another transporter, but as a supplier or recipient, I cannot transfer that work. I cannot assign that particular work to another transporter. This is a specific situation. So we need to be very much careful for that. Suspicious transactions पे departmental authority क्या करती है? Departmental authority is going to ask with you the copy of e-way bill, and at that time they are going to check the same. That transporter कोई change तो नहीं हुआ है, कहीं इसको change supplier ने तो नहीं किया है. So these are the basic things on which we need to be very much careful. Also, we had already discussed in our yesterday session that the toll नाका, जो टोल नाका है वहां की जो डिटेल है automatically fetching with the GSTN department. Okay, or they can check that what is the way of the vehicle, particular vehicle. Okay, because अगर कहीं जाने के, कहीं पहुंचने के, जोधपुर से गुजरात जाने के 4 रास्ते होंगे, 5 रास्ते होंगे, सब पे टोल नाके हैं, तो वो डिटेल वहां से उस ट्रांसपोर्टर आईडी से फेच कर सकते हैं कि ये गाड़ी यहां से निकली या फिर नहीं निकली, तो उनके पास में एक और रास्ता यहाँ पर है. सो फॉर दैट पर्पज वी नीड टू बी वेरी मच केयरफुल फॉर दैट. नाउ after e-way bill has been generated in accordance with the provisions of the subrule 1, where multiple consignment are intended to be transported in one conveyance, the transporter may indicate the serial number of e-way bill generated in respect of each consignment electronically on the common portal, and consolidated e-way bill in form GST EWB02 may be generated by him on the said common portal. That means if you are going to transport multiple consignment in one lot, in that case you just need to generate bulk e-way bill. Okay, this facility is also available on common portal, so you just need to go to that. Sir, as a chartered accountant, as a tax consultant, we are not going to check the e-way bill portal, but this is my humble submission to you. Once you just need to log in to that e-way bill portal and check the tabs. Okay, when you are going to check the tabs, when you are going to check the detailings on the e-way bill, you got multiple ideas. Okay, how you can do the same. अभी हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं, ए पार्ट ए है, पार्ट बी है, बल्क आई कैन जनरेट फ्रॉम जीएसटी EW02, बट हाउ आई कैन डू दिस? What is the fields is there in that particular e-way bill form? You just need to log in. Although I know you had already done that, but if you had not done that, in that case do it on today or tomorrow. And if you found any issue in that, you just need to connect with me over call, or you can connect with me over WhatsApp. Okay sir. Now, where the consignor or the consignee has not generated the e-way bill in form GST EWB01, the aggregate of the consignment value of goods carried in the conveyance is more than 50,000 rupees, the transporter, except in case of transportation of goods by railway, by air, by vessel, shall in respect of interested supply generate the e-way bill on the basis of invoice or bill of supply or bill of delivery challan, as the case may be, and may also generate a consolidated e-way bill. We had already discussed on that. If supplier and recipient is not going to generate the e-way bill, in that case transporter can generate the e-way bill. That is what is the provision. In case goods is transported from the e-commerce operator, in that case e-commerce operator can also generate the e-way bill. The information furnished in Part A of Form GST EWB01 shall be reconciled or provided in the GSTR1 auto-populated. Okay, so these two data is reconciled. Now, provided that when the information has been furnished by an unregistered supplier or an unregistered recipient in Form GST EWB01, he shall be informed electronically in the mobile number or e-way bill is applicable. Okay, available. Now, where an e-way bill has been generated under this rule, but the goods are either not transported or are not transported as per the details furnished in the e-way bill, the e-way bill may be cancelled electronically on the common portal within 24 hours of the generation of e-way bill. That means this is also one authority in your hand that you can cancel the e-way bill. So suggest your client, guide your client, if they are not going to transport that particular goods, or they had generated that e-way bill by mistake, in that case suggest them to cancel the e-way bill immediately. Okay, because if there is any huge difference between the data of your sales and between the data of your e-way bill portal, in that case this is a dangerous situation for you. So we need to be very much careful for that, and once we need to talk with our client regarding that. Now, provided that the e-way bill cannot be cancelled if it has been verified in the transit in accordance with the provision of 138B. अगर कोई डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी ने उसे वेरीफाई कर दिया, टोल नाके पे उसका वेरिफिकेशन हो गया, in that case you cannot cancel the e-way bill, and if you are going to cancel the same, then in that case this is a huge implication for you. This is a suspicious activity and department is going to investigate your case, because जब उसको रास्ते में देखा गया है, तब आप उसको कैंसिल कैसे कर सकते हो? हाउ यू कैन कैंसिल दैट पर्टिकुलर ई-वे बिल? सो यू नीड टू बी वेरी मच केयरफुल फॉर दैट. ये कुछ बेसिक पॉइंट्स हैं जो हमको हमारे क्लाइंट को गाइड करने पड़ेंगे. Provided further that the unique number generated under subrule 1 shall be valid for a period of 15 days from the updation of part B of form GST EWB01. So there is a timeline of 15 days. An e-way bill or a consolidated e-way bill generated under this rule shall be valid for the period and mentioned in column number 3 of table below from the relevant date for the distance within the country and the goods have been transported mentioned in column 2. So there is one table एंड इस टेबल के अंदर किलोमीटर वाइज यहाँ पर दिया हुआ है वैलिडिटी ऑफ द ई वे बिल ओके सो देर आर सर्टन स्पेसिफिक सर्कुलर्स आल्सो व्हिच इज स्टेट स्पेसिफिक सो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डिस्कस ऑन दैट दिस इज एन अ जर्नल पॉइंट so you just need to download the data state wise okay or refer the same and compare the same and this is a basic point so I am not going to cover the same you just need to read it on self basis okay sir can I do this just confirm in the chat box that each and everything is still each and everything is okay regarding e-way bill. Okay, sir. The details of e-way bill generated under this rule should be made available to supplier, recipient, on the common portal and the supplier or the recipient as the case may be shall communicate his acceptance or rejection of the consignment covered by the e-way bill portal. They can do the same on the e-way bill common portal. Okay, sir. So the information is provided to the supplier or recipient. If supplier is going to issue the e-way bill, the details is given to recipient. Or if recipient is going to issue the e-way bill, the details is provided to the supplier, and supplier or recipient can reject or accept the e-way bill. Okay, where the person to whom the information specified in subrule 11 has been made available does not communicate his acceptance or rejection within 72 hours of the details being made available to him on the common portal or the time of delivery of goods whichever is earlier it shall be deemed that you had accepted the same. कई बार क्या होता है क्लाइंट के पास में मैसेज आता है टेक्स्ट मैसेज आता है कि आपका ई वे बिल उस पर्टिकुलर पर्सन ने जनरेट हुआ है एट दैट टाइम you just need to log into the e-way bill portal और अगर वो आपका नहीं है in that case you just need to reject the same on the common portal वहां पर आपको टैब मिल जाएगा reject और accept you just need to select the same. Okay, sir. So this is a specific information. Multiple time clients got text messages that on your behalf, e-way bill has been generated by that particular party. You just need to check that the party has generated party is genuine and you had bought that particular goods from that party, or you are going to sell goods to that particular party, or this e-way bill is generated by mistake. In that case, you just need to communicate the same on the e-way bill common portal. Okay, sir. So important information guide to your client regarding that also. The e-way bill generated under this rule or under Rule 138 of the Goods and Services Tax Rules of any state and union territory shall be valid in every state and every union territory. So that means this is valid in each and every state and union territory. Notwithstanding anything contained in this rule, no e-way bill shall be required to be generated. So, where the goods being transported are specified in annexure, we are going to discuss on that annexure also. Where the goods are transported by a non motorized conveyance, okay, that means बैलगाड़ी के ऊपर अगर कोई लेके जा रहा है, in that case there is no requirement of e-way bill. अगर कोई लॉरी में लेकर के जा रहा है, हाथ थैले में लेकर जा रहा है, in that case also there is no requirement of e-way bill. Okay, now where the goods are being transported from the custom port, airport, air cargo complex and land custom station to an inland container depot or in container freight station for clearance of custom, we had already discussed that जब तक वो डोमेस्टिक के लिए नहीं आ जाता है तब तक there is no tax, so there is no requirement of e-way bill. अगर वो कस्टम क्लियरेंस के एरिया तक ही गुड्स का मूवमेंट हो रहा है, if the movement of goods is still the custom clearance area, in that case there is no requirement of e-way bill. In respect of movement of goods within such area as are notified under clause D of subrule 14 or rule 138 of state and union territory goods services tax rules in that particular state or union territory. So these are certain situations where the goods are being transported are alcoholic liquor for human consumption or five specific petroleum product. In that case, also there is no requirement of e-way bill. Okay, where the supply of goods being transported is treated as neither as a supply of goods nor as supply of services as per Schedule 3 of the GST Act. In that case, also there is no requirement of e-way bill. Where the goods being transported under the custom bond or custom supervision, in that case also there is no requirement of e-way bill. Where the goods being transported are transit from or to Nepal or Bhutan, in that case also there is no requirement of e-way bill. So sir, these are certain situations, in these cases there is no requirement of e-way bill. Okay, so I can say that related to e-way bill, we need to completely guide to our client. I am again and again saying these lines because हम लोग उस चीज का ध्यान नहीं रख पाएंगे, तो हमको उसको बताना पड़ेगा. If you are going to make any sales to Nepal and Bhutan, there is no requirement of e-way bill. If your client is a petrol pump, okay, if your client is a owner of petrol pump, in petrol pump cases, if he is selling the particular crude oil or five petroleum product, in that case there is no requirement of e-way bill. So these are the points on which we need to be focused. Okay, और एक बार ये सब कुछ यहाँ पर कुछ चेंजेस नहीं आने वाला है. जीएसटी में कई सारे ऐसे प्रोविजन है जहां पर हर 2 दिन में, 5 दिन में, 10 दिन में चेंजेस आते हैं. बट इन केस ऑफ ई-वे बिल, in maximum cases, 90% cases, there is no chances of changes. Okay, so we need to once exercise these type of things. Now, any movement of goods caused by the defense formation under Ministry of Defense, in that case also there is no requirement of e-way bill. Where the consigner of the goods is the central government of any state, local authority for the transport of goods by rail, in that case also there is no requirement of e-way bill. Where empty cargo containers are being transported, in that case also there is no requirement of e-way bill. So empty cylinders of packing of liquefied petroleum gas, in that case also there is no requirement of e-way bill. So these are certain situations, in those cases there is no requirement of e-way bill. This is my humble submission to you. Once again read these points. If you found any issue, you just need to comment in the chat box. I will explain the same. Also, these are very basic point. These are the situation we had covered, each and every situation for your reference. So in these cases there is no requirement of e-way bill. So this is the annexure, and in that case also there is no requirement of e-way bill. That is liquefied petroleum gas for supply to household and non-domestic exempted category. Kerosene oil के केस में there is no requirement of e-way bill. Postal baggage transported by Department of Postage, there is no requirement of e-way bill. And natural and cultured, in that case also there is no requirement of e-way bill. Precise stones हो या फिर metals हो, is that case also there is no requirement of e-way bill. Jewelry, gold smith, silver smith के केस में भी there are no requirement of e-way bill. Currency is a money, so there is no requirement of e-way bill. Sir, this is okay for you? E-way bill point is big. And practically, at the time of departmental audit, at the time of scrutiny, department is also going to give more importance to the segment of e-way bill and e-invoice. Okay, so we also need to be very much careful for that. Sir, यहाँ तक सब कुछ clear है क्या? Just confirm me in the chat box that each and everything regarding the exemption, that is there is no requirement of e-way bill, requirement of e-way bill, who can generate the e-way bill, what is the situation, all these part is okay for you. Documents and devices to be carried by a person in charge of a conveyance. The person in charge of a conveyance shall carry the invoice, bill of supply, delivery challan, as the case may be, a copy of e-way bill in physical form or the e-way bill number in electronic form, or mapped to a radio frequency identification device. These are the documents which is mandatory: invoice, bill of supply या फिर delivery challan with your e-way bill. E-way bill can be in a physical form, can be in a electronical mode. Okay, कई बार डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी बोलता है आपके पास फिजिकल नहीं है, इन दैट केस यू जस्ट नीड टू टेक रेफरेंस ऑफ रोल नंबर 138A. Okay sir, provided that Nothing contained in clause B of this sub rule shall apply in case of movement of goods by rail or by air or by vessel. Provided further that in case of imported goods, the person in charge of a conveyance shall carry a copy of bill of entry filed by the importer of such goods and shall indicate the number and date of bill of entry in part A of form GST PWB01. So these are the documents which is required. A registered person may obtain an invoice reference number from the common portal by uploading on the said portal a tax invoice issued in form GST INV01. This facility is not completely applicable on the GSTN portal or available on the GSTN portal. So I am not going to discuss on that. The commissioner may by notification require a class of transporter to obtain a unique radio frequency identification device and get the said device embedded on the conveyance or map the e-way bill to the radio frequency identification device. This is also in a specific situation. In certain specific situation, यहाँ पर जीएसटी डिपार्टमेंट जो है कुछ ट्रांसपोर्टर के लिए मैंडेटरी कर सकता है कि आपको रेडियो फ्रिक्वेंसी डिवाइस मैंडेटरी है कि आप उसको अपने जो व्हीकल्स है उसके साथ में अटैच कर लो. दिस इज द मैंडेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट. ओके सर. सो वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स. कैसे डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी इज गोइंग टू वेरीफाई द डॉक्यूमेंट्स एंड योर गुड्स. द कमिश्नर or an officer empowered by him in this behalf may authorize the proper officer to intercept any conveyance to verify the e-way bill in physical and electronic form or for all interstate and intrastate movement of goods. Physical form में they can check, electronical form में they can check the same from the toll नाका details. Okay, toll charges से वो पता कर सकते हैं, टोल नाका से आपकी गाड़ी नंबर से उसकी डिटेलिंग वहां से निकल सकती है. So this is the option available with them. The commissioner shall get a radio frequency identification device readers installed at place where the verification of movement of goods is required to be carried out, and verification of movement of vehicles shall be done through such device readers where the e-way bill has been mapped with said devices. So वन ऑप्शन इज फिजिकली कर सकते हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली कर सकते हैं, रेडियो फ्रिक्वेंसी आइडेंटिफिकेशन जो डिवाइसेस हैं उनके थ्रू यहां पर जो है डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी कैन चेक द गुड्स एंड चेक द व्हीकल्स. द फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन be carried out by the proper officer as authorized by the commissioner or an officer empowered by him in this behalf, provided that on receipt of specific information on evasion of tax, physical verification of specific conveyance can also be carried out by any other officer after obtaining necessary approval from the commissioner. So in that case, अगर कोई दूसरा ऑफिसर आता है, in that case approval of commissioner is required. कई बार क्या होता है in between the way, if departmental authority is going to going for inspection of your vehicles, in that case we are not in the situation, or transporter is not in the situation to ask for the authority. But this is my humble submission to you. जब भी ऐसा होता है, this is the biggest question. We just need to ask the authenticity, the authority of that particular person कि he is authorized for that inspection or not. हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि वो कार्ड दिखाया उसने, ठीक है ओके, हम लोग उसको पूरा व्हीकल्स जो है सुपुर्द कर देते हैं. वी आर गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड द कंप्लीट डिटेल्स टू दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट, product or particular vehicle. But in that case we just need to ask the authority, we just need to check the authenticity of that particular person, we just need to check that the person is authorized to do so or not. These things we need to be very much careful for that. As a chartered accountant, as a professional, we need to do the same. Yes. Commissioner has the power to inspect the vehicles. Okay, so in that case they are providing the card regarding the commissioner post. Okay, in that case we are satisfied. But if there is any other officer is there, in that case we just need to check that he has the approval letter, he has the authority level letter issued by the departmental authority, that is by the commissioner, is available with that officer or not. Okay, or ID number is also there at that particular portal. So you just need to go to the CBIC portal, and on that particular portal you also check that particular officer is authorized to do so or not, or the particular officer is existence or not. सो दिस इज द थिंग विच वी नीड टू बी वेरी मच केयरफुल फॉर दैट। कई बार डिटेन होते ही हम लोग उसको सारी डिटेल देते हैं, वी आर गोइंग टू पे द अमाउंट टू दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन, और बाद में पता चलता है कि ही इज द फ्रॉड। सो दिस इज द सिचुएशन। एज अ प्रोफेशनल ये हमारी ड्यूटी है कि हम हमारे क्लाइंट को ये गाइड करें या फिर उस ट्रांसपोर्टर को गाइड करें। वी नीड टू गाइड टू दैट पर्टिकुलर ट्रांसपोर्टर कि these documents are required and you should check these document, and after that you should provide that particular vehicle to that particular officer. Is that okay, sir? कहाँ गया? Inspection and verification of goods. A summary report of every inspection of goods in transit shall be recorded and online by the proper officer in form Part A of Form GST EWB03 within 24 hours of inspection, and the final report in Part B of GST EWB03 shall be recorded within 3 days of such inspection. That means the all data has to be maintained online. You can also check the same on your e-way bill portal. Okay, so 24 hours के अंदर उसको एक summary report generate करनी पड़ेगी, and final report should be recorded within 3 days from the date of inspection, provided that where the circumstances so warrant, the commissioner or any other officer authorized by him may, on sufficient cause being shown, extend the time for recording of the final report in form part B of the form EWB03 for the period not exceeding 3 days. उसको 3 days का और extension यहाँ पर मिल सकता है. That means we just need to check the same on the e-way bill portal that the summary is uploaded or not, or the summary is correct or not. Because if you are going for the appeal, हो सकता है ना कि वी आर गोइंग फॉर द अपील, हमारे सारे के सारे फैक्ट एकदम सही हो, उसने वहां पर पेनल्टी इंपोज कर दी हो, और हमारी ये सिचुएशन है कि वी नीड टू free that particular vehicle and we need to release that particular vehicle. In that case we are going to pay the amount, and we want to go for appeal in that particular case. In that case we just need to check the data on that particular e-way bill, the summary report and the final report which is available on the common portal, and on that behalf we need to prepare the grounds for our appeal. Okay, if you are going for appeal, if you are going for any litigation, in that case your grounds will play a very important role. Sir, this is my humble submission to you. When you are going to file a appeal or when you are going to file a litigation, in that case first check your grounds. Okay, and ground should be as per the law. You should take care of law, provisions of law. You should take care of certain other decisions issued by, pronounced by the other authorities, whether it is in a high court, double AR, triple AR authorities. So you should be very much careful for that also. Okay, sir. Now, where the physical verification of goods being transported on any conveyance has been done during the transit at one place within the state or union territory or any other state or union territory, no further physical verification of said conveyance shall be carried out again in the state or union territory unless the specific information relating to evasion of taxes made available subsequently. That means अगर एक बार inspection हो गया तो दूसरी बार नहीं होने वाला है. Facility for uploading information regarding detention of vehicle, where the vehicle has been detained for a period not exceeding 30 minutes, the transporter may upload the said information in form GST EWB04 on the common portal. जैसे ही आप ये डिटेल अपलोड करोगे ये वेरीफाई हो जाएगा. सो जैसे ही कोई गुड्स डिटेन करते हैं, we need to update the same on GST EWB04 on the common portal. This is our duty. Transporter will call to the client and client will call to us. We just need to guide to our client that, sir, you just need to report the same on GST EWB04. Restriction on furnishing of information in Part A of Form GST EWB01. Notwithstanding anything contained in Sub-Rule 1 of Rule 138, no person shall be allowed to furnish the information in Part A of Form GST EWB01 in respect of registered person, whether as a supplier or recipient who, being a person paying the tax under Section 10. That means if you are a composition taxable person, in that case has not furnished the return for 2 consecutive tax periods. That means अगर किसी composition taxable person ने 2 क्वार्टर तक रिटर्न फाइल नहीं किया है, in that case he will not eligible to generate the e-way bill. So we need to be very much careful for that. If our client is not going to file the return on time, in that case, we just need to suggest them that if you are not going to file the return on timely basis, in that case, your registration can also be cancelled by the departmental authority. So you should be very much careful for that. Being a person other than a person specified in clause A has not furnished the return for a consecutive period of 2 months, that is, अगर regular taxpayer 2 months के return file नहीं करता है, in that case his e-way bill portal can be blocked by the departmental authority. और बाद में उसको अनलॉक करवाने के लिए he need to intimate the same to the departmental authority that we had already paid the taxes and we had already filed the return, so please unblock the e-way bill portal. Okay. इस सब से बचने के लिए we need to file the return on timely basis, provided that the commissioner may, on sufficient cause being shown and reasons to be recorded in writing by order, allow furnishing the said information in Part A of Form GST EWB01 subject to such condition and restrictions as may be specified by him. Provided further that no order rejecting the request of such person to furnish the information in Part A of Form GST EWB0B under the first proviso shall be passed without affording the said person and reasonable opportunity of being heard. That means department is going to provide a opportunity of being heard. सुनवाई का मौका देने के बाद they are going to reach to any decision or reach to any conclusion. So sir, this is all about your e-way bill portal. So just once confirm in the chat box that provisions related to job work and provisions related to e-way bill is okay for you. You got the basic idea regarding the e-way bill portal. You got the basic idea regarding who can issue the e-way bill portal, how you are going to deal at the time of inspection by the departmental authority on the way. These things are clear in your mind, or in case of job work, who is going to issue the e-way bill, what documents are necessary, all these things are okay in your mind or not, just comment in the chat box so that I can take the next point. Sir, everything is okay for you? Sir, for retention of goods, at that time, if you have sufficient document, in that case, departmental authority will release your goods at the time immediately. But if you have no sufficient document, suppose your e-way bill has already expired and the e-way bill is not in correct way and the information which is furnished in the e-way bill is not correct. In that case, you just need to pay the demand on the GSTN portal. Okay, they are demanding for 100% penalty, so you just need to pay that particular penalty, and after paying that, department is going to release your goods. Okay. Suppose your e-way bill has expired and department is not agree with your arguments. In that case, first you just need to pay the amount. Then after you can file an appeal to the departmental authority, or in that appeal you can argue with the things. Okay, so that is what is the way. But firstly, if you want to release the goods, you need to pay the penalty which is demanded by the departmental authority. Then after you can go to the go for appeal. Okay, sir, is that okay for you? So just comment in the chat box so that I can take the next point. I need reply from each and everyone that job work part and e-way bill is okay for you, so that मुझे ऐसा लगेगा कि जो इस पर्पस था इस सेशन का वो हमने फुलफिल किया है. Then after we are going to talk on certain important case studies. if the turnover during the preceding financial years in financial year 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22, 22, 23, if the turnover got exceeded by 10 crore rupees, in that case there is mandatory requirement to generate e-invoice. Okay, and when you are going to generate e-invoice, in that case a IRN number will be generated, and you need to put the same on your invoice. Okay, that is what is the basic fundamental of e-invoice. Okay, so कई information आई थी कि 5 करोड़ से ऊपर भी ई वे बिल की रिक्वायर ई इनवॉइस की रिक्वायरमेंट है. So there is no any such news by the departmental authority, there is no any specific news by the CBIC, there is no any notification, there is no any circular is available. So if the turnover got exceeded by 10 crore rupees, in that case there is requirement of e-invoice. Okay, so now invoice is required for invoice, for debit note, for credit note. Okay, e-invoice is required for all these things. You just need to generate the e-invoice. Okay, e-invoice के लिए you just need to log into the e-invoice portal, and on that particular product portal you just need to generate the e-invoice. Sir, for that purpose you just need to maintain, you just need to make certain configuration in your accounting software, and you just need to talk with the administrator of your accounting software for enabling the features of e-invoicing. Okay, because from that particular accounting software, when you are going to generate the normal invoice and when you will click to the e-invoice, in that case automatically that invoice will be converted into e-bill, that e-invoice, that is iron, will be generated from the portal. JSON will automatically generated and uploaded to the specified folder. Okay, sir. Now, suppose you can generate, there is a maximum timeline within 7 days. You can generate the invoice. पहले क्या था, आप कभी भी invoice बना, आप invoice बनाओ और invoice आप कभी भी generate कर देना, आपके पास में ये authority थी. Suppose 31 मार्च की ई इनवॉइस मैं कभी भी जाकर के जनरेट कर सकता था, देयर इज नो इश्यू विद दैट. But now there is a maximum timeline is available, there is a maximum timeline is available of 7 days from 1st May 2023. That means from 1st May onwards, if you want to generate the e-invoice for a particular transaction, in that case the particular transaction should not be older than 7 days. That means suppose if I want to generate the invoice on 1st May, then I can generate for that particular invoice till 7th May invoice e-invoice. Okay, sir. Yes, all the data is automatically reconciled. Your e-invoice data is automatically uploaded or showing on your GSTR1 when you are going to file the GSTR1 return. At that time, they are matching the data with e-invoice data. And if there is any excess invoices available on the e-invoice portal, in that case, they already shown at the time of your filing of your GSTR1 return. Okay, so all data is reconciled with each and every one. So we should be very much careful for that. कई बार हमने ये देखा है while filing the return, स्टाफ ये बताता है कि देयर इज डिफरेंस बिटवीन द इनवॉइस नंबर इन ई इनवॉइस एंड जीएसटीआर1. सो वी शुड बी वेरी मच केयरफुल फॉर दैट. बोथ शुड बी सेम, बिकॉज यहाँ पर अगर डिफरेंस आया तो ये एक डेंजरस सिचुएशन हो सकती है. वी नीड टू बी वेरी मच केयरफुल फॉर दैट. यू शुड रिकंसाइल द डेटा एज पर ई इनवॉइस एंड एज पर जीएसटीआर1 रिटर्न. ओके सर, सो दैट इज व्हाट इज द सिचुएशन. वी नीड टू बी वेरी मच केयरफुल फॉर दैट. Okay, sir. So this is the basic part of e-invoice, and there is nothing important in that particular e-invoice. You just need to put the figures e-invoice automatically generated from the backend of your accounting software. Okay, IRN will be generated and the same is reflected on your invoice. Okay, so this is okay from e-invoice point of view, or any other doubt is exist regarding e-invoice or any other point. Sir, can I take the case studies? Just confirm me once in the chat box that each and everything is okay for you. I want reply from each and everyone. Sir, today at the end of this 3 days live session, I'm going to discuss on certain important case studies, certain landmarking case judgments. Okay. And these case studies are really very important and very relevant for our day-to-day practices at the time of our litigation and when we are going to file any reply to the departmental authority. And if we are going to include these type of case studies in our reply, in that case, that will it will create a very good impact on our reply. Okay. So for that purpose, we should be very much careful for that. First, Cruel Tradex प्राइवेट लिमिटेड वर्सेस द कमिश्नर, दिल्ली हाईकोर्ट का यहाँ पर डिसीजन आया है. फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ बिजनेस प्रेमाइसेस फॉर जीएसटी रजिस्ट्रेशन without issuing notice is violation of principle of natural justice. Sir, when we are going for the taking the GST registration nowadays, departmental authority are coming to us for the physical verification and they are coming without any notice. Okay, they are not going to provide any intimation, any prior intimation. तो एट दैट टाइम अगर वो लोग आते हैं और उनको एट दैट टाइम अगर कोई सेटअप नहीं मिलता है और दे आर गोइंग टू आर्ग्यू फॉर दैट, इन दैट केस वी कैन आर्ग्यू विद द बेस ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर डिसीजन क्यूरल ट्रेडेक्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड वर्सेस कमिश्नर. इसके अंदर ऑनरेबल दिल्ली हाईकोर्ट ने ये वाला डिसीजन दिया कि इफ डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी इज गोइंग फॉर द फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन एट द टाइम ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन, इन दैट केस prior notice is required. आप लोग if you are going to argue with the departmental authority will say there is no requirement of any notice. In that case you just need to give the reference of honorable Delhi High Court decision. There is a decision and as per that decision prior notice is required. Okay sir, so from that particular point of view this decision is also plays a very important role. Shima Gupta versus Union of India, दिल्ली हाईकोर्ट का डिसीजन है. द दिल्ली हाईकोर्ट हैज हेल्ड दैट गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज टैक्स इज नॉट पेबल ऑन रेंटिंग ऑफ रेजिडेंशियल ड्वेलिंग फॉर पर्सनल यूज. The division bench of Justice Manmohan and Justice Manmeet Pritam Singh has observed that the rental of residential dwelling to a proprietor of a registered proprietorship firm who rents it in his personal capacity for his use on his own residence and not for the use in the course or furtherance of business of his proprietorship firm, such renting is on his own account and not that of the proprietorship firm, shall be exempt from the tax and the same notification is announced as per notification number 4/2022 central tax rate dated 13/7/2022. Okay, in case I am a registered person, suppose I am a registered person and if I am going to take any residential building for the residential purpose, in that case earlier government says that you should pay the GST on reverse charge basis. Okay, but now as per notification and as per the Delhi High Court decision, there is clear cut situation that in case if I am a proprietor, I am registered under GST and I am taking any residential property for my residence, that is for my personal purpose, and I am taking that in my personal capacity, in that case there is no requirement to pay the GST on reverse charge basis. That means there are no requirement to pay any type of GST in that particular case. Okay, sir. So this is a specific situation. We need to be very much careful for that. Although notification is there, but we need to read the language of particular judgment also. Particular judgment itself we need. Okay. अभी मैंने एक बुक ऑथर की है 201 इंपॉर्टेंट जजमेंट्स अंडर जीएसटी. उस पूरी बुक के अंदर कंप्लीट 201 जजमेंट्स इसी तरह से बहुत ही कंसाइज वे के अंदर आपको समझ आ रहा है, उसके लिए मैंने उसके अंदर रखा है. सो इफ एनीवन वांट टू बाय देन टेक्स्ट मी सो आई कैन post the book. Okay. Now, Messrs. Om Prakash Store versus the state of Jharkhand. Jharkhand High Court ने यहाँ पर डिसीजन दिया है. The Jharkhand High Court has the adjudication of order and held that the notice issued under Section 73 of the CGST Act in the column of date, time, and venue of personal hearing was indicated by the respondent as NA, which means not applicable. The division bench of Justice Kumar Singh and the Justice Deepak Roshan has observed that the adjudication order was not in accordance with the procedure prescribed in the law and the order deserved to be quashed on the grounds of the non-compliance with the statutory provisions of JGST Act and non-compliance with the principles of the natural justice. सर, इस डिसीजन को जब हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं ना, तब हमारी एनालिटिकल स्किल्स जो है यहाँ इंप्रूव हो रही है. वी आर गोइंग टू गेट द एनालिटिकल स्किल्स फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट. when we are getting that particular notices from the departmental authority, हम लोग वहीं पर ही सोचना बंद कर देते हैं, हम लोग सीधा रिप्लाई देने के लिए सोचते हैं कि we got that particular notice on account of difference between GSTR 3B and GSTR 2, and we are getting that notice on account of difference between GSTR 1 and 3B and all that. हम इसमें ही उलझ जाते हैं. We are not thinking that the notice is correct or not. The person who is going to issue that particular notice is authorized to issue that particular notice is or not. The data which is mentioned in the notice is correct or not as per law or not. We are not going to check the same. अगर हम लोग ऐसा कर ले तो मैं आपको गारंटी दे सकता हूँ 40% केसेस के अंदर बिना किसी रिप्लाई दिए ही हम लोग वहां पर ये साबित कर सकते हैं, वी कैन प्रूव दैट दिस नोटिस इज नॉट एज पर लॉ. ओके, सो हमको टाइम भी मिल जाएगा और वहां पर हमको पता भी चल जाएगा, और डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी को भी ये लगेगा कि सामने जो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट है, जो टैक्स कंसल्टेंट है, जो लीगल पर्सन है, उसको नॉलेज है. वरना हम लोग रिप्लाई देने में लगते हैं, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू चेक द डेटा विच इज फीडेड इन दैट पर्टिकुलर नोटिस. So this is an important case study is provided by the Jharkhand High Court. In that particular case, only the personal hearing date, time and venue is not available in that particular notice. Okay, और उसने वो नोटिस जो है पर्सनल हियरिंग का दिया था. He has provided the notice regarding the personal hearing, and in that particular information tab he has mentioned as not applicable. सो यहाँ पर झारखंड हाईकोर्ट ने उस नोटिस को खारिज किया और डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी को भी यहाँ पर इंस्ट्रक्शन दिए. सो दिस इज एन इम्पोर्टेंट केस स्टडी. वी कैन ऑल्सो टेक द सेम केस इन अवर डे टू डे प्रैक्टिस लाइफ, इन अवर लिटिगेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू एट द टाइम ऑफ लिटिगेशन. सो सर, कई बार चीजें क्या होती है, व्हाई वी नीड टू टेक द रेफरेंस ऑफ जजमेंट्स. if I am going to read the law, and if I am going to memorize the law, if I am going to memorize the provisions, maximum time हुआ क्या, I can read that, I can memorize that, but when the question comes regarding the practical applicability of that particular provision or practical applicability of that particular law, in that case at that particular time I just require the analytical skills. And when I am going to read that particular law with reference of certain judgments, certain decisions, certain practical case studies, certain practical scenarios, in that case we got the points. Okay sir, so this is the important case study again. Now, Messrs DK Enterprises versus the Assistant Deputy Commissioner, Madras High Court का decision है. The Madras High Court has held that in the matters of the interception, seizure and detention, the GST department did not recognize the concept of working day and the holiday since substantial civil rights of the parties were at stake. The single bench of Justice Anita has observed that neither the assessee nor the department could have the luxury of reference to a holiday to delay and protect the proceedings. The acts of interception and retention through an evasion of the right of citizen has been accorded statutory section in pursuance of the aims and objects of the goods and services tax. That thus it was imperative that the exclusive act be carried out in strict compliance with the statutory provisions. That means अगर डिपार्टमेंट बोलता है कि आज वर्किंग डे है, आज हॉलीडे है, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डू द डिटेंशन रिलेटेड वर्क एंड सीजर रिलेटेड वर्क, in that case there is no provision of holiday and no provision of working day. So basically this decision is for us एज अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, एज अ प्रोफेशनल्स. कई बार हम लोग ये आर्ग्यू कर देते हैं एट द टाइम ऑफ सीजन और एट द टाइम ऑफ डिटेंशन कि टुडे इज संडे एंड यू आर नॉट ऑथराइज्ड टू डू द सेम. At that time we just not need to do this type of argument, because in case of seizure, in case of detention, or if there is any involvement of revenue loss to the departmental authority, in that case there is no concept of working day and holiday. Departmental authority can do your inspection, your seizure, your detention at any time. Okay, when they have the facts, when they have the information. Okay sir, so this is also an important judgment for us. Okay, this is in favor of departmental authorities, so we need to be very much careful for that also. Mahavir Polyplast Private Limited versus State of UP, Allahabad High Court का decision है. The Allahabad High Court has held that the goods laying in the godown cannot be seized by invoking section 129 of CGST Act. The power of seizure can be exercised only in the case goods is in transit and not for the goods laying in the godown. Okay, suppose in that particular case what happened, गुड्स जो है आपका जब ट्रांजिट के अंदर है, एट दैट टाइम आपके ई वे बिल के प्रोविजंस लगेंगे कि ई वे बिल इज नॉट प्रॉपर, इनवॉइस इज नॉट प्रॉपर एंड द रिकॉर्ड्स इज नॉट प्रॉपर व्हेन योर गुड्स इज इन योर स्टोर एंड द सेम इज अकाउंटेड इन योर अकाउंटिंग सॉफ्टवेयर एंड द प्रॉपर अकाउंटिंग प्रॉपर स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट इज मेंटेन्ड इन योर अकाउंटिंग सॉफ्टवेयर, एट दैट टाइम डिपार्टमेंट कैन नॉट से regarding seize of that particular goods which is stored in the godown on account of the e-way bill. Okay, because कई बार क्या होता है e-way bill हम लोग जनरेट कर देते हैं and we are not going for the movement of that particular goods and the goods is stored in that particular godown or warehouse. At that time departmental authority is going to issue the notice regarding the e-way bill. Okay, कि आपने e-way bill generate किया है, इसके regarding documents दिखाओ. Also your goods is stored in the particular warehouse. At that time we just need to take the reference of the Allahabad High Court Mahavir Polycast Private Limited versus the state of UP. Okay sir, so this is an important judgments for us. Now मेसर्स गंधर ऑयल रिफाइनरी लिमिटेड वर्सेस असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर ऑफ सेल्स टैक्स आंध्र प्रदेश हाईकोर्ट का डिसीजन है. द आंध्र प्रदेश हाईकोर्ट हैज relied on the notification number 5/7/2022 and held that the period from 1st March 2020 to 20th Feb 2022 for the computation of period of limitation for filing the refund application shall stand excluded. Okay, so this is a specific judgment on reference to the notification. Okay, so for that purpose you just need to first read that particular notification dated 5/7/2022 regarding refund. Okay, so जब तक ये वाला केस चल रहा था तब तक के पीरियड को यहाँ पर एक्सक्लूड किया हुआ है. We had already discussed on that regarding the refund point of view that जब कोई केस पेंडिंग होगा किसी डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी के पास, हाई कोर्ट के पास, इन दैट केस वो पीरियड हम लोग यहाँ पर लिमिटेशन पीरियड से 2 years फ्रॉम द रिलेवेंट डेट उसको यहाँ पर हम लोग एक्सक्लूड करने वाले हैं. ओके सर, सो दिस इज ऑल्सो एन इंपॉर्टेंट जजमेंट्स फॉर अस. उदयपुर चैम्बर these are the specific case studies Udaipur chamber and Goa mining association regarding royal service tax royalty. Okay, service tax on royalty. So these two, that is in case of Goa mining association or in case of Udaipur chamber of commerce industry versus union of India के case में this decision is pronounced by the authority that there is a no service tax on royalty. Okay, because nowadays department is going to issue notices on account of your service tax on royalty. So you can take reference of these two case studies, Udaipur chamber of commerce and Goa mining association. In these two case studies there is clear cut instruction that there is no requirement of service tax on royalty. Okay, you can argue the same. Now Satyam Shivam Papers Private Limited, this is the very important case study regarding e-way bill. Very important case studies in your practical issues regarding e-way bill. You can take reference of this case study pronounced by the Apex High Court, Supreme High Court. The Honorable Apex High Court has pronounced landmark judgments in the case of Satyam Shivam Papers Private Limited, wherein it had been held that the expiry of e-way bill for reasons beyond the control of assessee could not be considered as on intent to evade tax. Hence, Apex Court imposed personal cost on errant officer for unnecessary litigation and harassment of the assessee. That means in that particular case, यहाँ पर क्या हुआ था? I just want to share the case study. यहाँ पर क्या हुआ था? गुड्स ट्रांसपोर्टर को दे दिया, ट्रांसपोर्टर इज गोइंग टू टेक दैट गुड्स टू द डेस्टिनेशन, बट इन बिटवीन वहां पर कोई लड़ाई झगड़ा हो गया, कुछ कम्युनिटी के डिस्प्यूट हो गए, उसकी वजह से वो गुड्स को वहां पर नहीं पहुंचा सका. ओके, एंड नेक्स्ट डे सैटरडे और संडे था, ड्यू टू दैट वो वहां पर उस गुड्स को डिलीवर नहीं कर पाया, तो 3 दिन तक उसने उस व्हीकल को अपने घर पे रख लिया उस ट्रांसपोर्टर ने. जब फोर्थ डे वो उस गुड्स को लेकर के जा रहा था, एट दैट टाइम डिपार्टमेंट ने उस गुड्स को डिटेन कर लिया. डिपार्टमेंट सेड दैट योर ई-वे बिल हैज ऑलरेडी एक्सपायर्ड, सो देयर इज अ पेनल्टी imposed. सो इन दैट केस यहाँ पर जो है क्या किया, टैक्स पेयर ने अपील फाइल की और यहाँ पर अपेक्स कोर्ट ने, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये वाला डिसीजन दिया कि मेयर ई वे बिल एक्सपायर होता है, तो इससे आप ये नहीं कह सकते हो कि देयर इज अ रेवेन्यू लॉस, देयर इज अ रेवेन्यू लॉस। ओके, सो इन दैट केस यहां पर अपेक्स कोर्ट ने पेनलाइज किया, 10,000 रुपीज की पेनल्टी लगाई डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी पे, और 59,000 रुपीज का रिम्बर्समेंट बैक भी उस बंदे को दिया, दैट इज द टैक्स पेयर को पेमेंट किया यहां पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने। सो दिस इज एन लैंडमार्क जजमेंट। अगर कोई डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी यहां पर डिमांड रेज करता है इन केस ऑफ ई वे बिल एक्सपायरी, वी कैन टेक रेफरेंस ऑफ सत्यम सेवन पेपर्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड। ओके सर, सो अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट केस स्टडी हियर। नाउ Madras High Court, e-way bill expired. The Madras High Court is penalty for the e-way bill expiry as the department failed to establish that there existed any element of the evasion of tax, fraudulent intent and negligence on the part of the prisoner. That means हमें भी ये वाला ध्यान रखना है, we can argue regarding the negligence, regarding the intent. Okay, in case of e-way bill, we can argue on account of the intent. ओके सर, सो जब भी कोई लिटिगेशन आता है, वी जस्ट नीड टू प्रिपेयर द ग्राउंड्स। ओके, बिकॉज ग्राउंड्स प्लेज अ वेरी रिलेवेंट रोल, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल। नाउ I just want to share one or two more case studies, then I am going to conclude the session. Okay, and this case study is from Gujarat High Court, Messrs Deepak Prints, very important decision. The petitioner has wrongly considered certain invoices in his GSTR 3B return. After filing the return, he came to know that he had made a mistake, but he had no option to revise his return. Therefore, he has wrote a letter to the nodal officer SGST of Rajkot about the fact. But he has not received any reply from the officer. Hence, he has filed a writ petition in the Gujarat High Court. Gujarat High Court का decision, Honorable High Court has decided that there is no fault of petitioner. Because this is a human error, hence petitioner can revise his return of May 2019. Hence, the Honorable Court has also stated in its judgment that government has to look into the condition and rules given under GST law and correct the same where correction is required based on the decision given by the Honorable High Court. Revision can be possible in GSTR 1 and 3B also. So sir, this is a very important decision. अगर कोई huge amount involve होता है, if there is any involvement of huge amount, in that case we can take reference of this case study and we can revise our GSTR 3B and 1 on the basis of the decision pronounced in case of Messrs Deepak Prints by the Honorable Gujarat High Court. So this is a very much specific case study. Now, in case of Messrs Sun Diachem, in this case, the petitioner has made certain mistake in GSTR 1 return. In this case, return period was financial year 17-18, but he has come to know about the mistakes in the month of August 2019. That is, timeline has already lapsed. Although the amendment in GSTR related to financial year 17-18 can be done till 7 March 2019. We all know this timeline. Now, in August 2019, he wanted to revise his return. As per GST law, this is not possible. Now, due to the time limit for the amendment has passed away, hence taxpayers filed a writ petition in Madras High Court. Okay, this is a very important situation. We also can face this situation, or we had already faced this type of situation. So we can take the reference of decision pronounced by Honorable Madras High Court. In this case, the Honorable High Court has permitted petitioner to revise his return, and the Honorable High Court said that the government has not implemented the automation process of return filing, which was sole of the GST law, that the government has also not introduced miscellaneous underlying provisions under GST law. Conclusion, based on the decision given by the Honorable Madras High Court, revision is possible in form GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B. So these are certain important case studies, 7 to 8 important case studies I had discussed with you. I suppose these case studies helps you a lot in your day-to-day practices. I will also share the PDF file of these case studies in the WhatsApp group. If you have any comment, if you have any query, you are free to raise the queries in the WhatsApp group. I am always available for you. You just need to text me. I will provide you reply most probably immediately or in a given time. Okay sir, now so in these 3 days we had started our discussion with import and export. We had also done the discussion on e-way bill. We had discussed on job work provisions, e-invoice provisions. Okay, and we had taken certain case studies as committed. Okay sir, now if you have any queries, you are free to raise the queries and you can also comment the queries in chat box. So for today, thanks for your patience learning. लोगों ने बहुत सपोर्ट किया एंड बट सपोज आप लोगों के साथ मैंने भी बहुत सारा नॉलेज यहाँ पर गेन किया है, सो थैंक्स टू ऑल ऑफ यू। एंड हर सेशन के एंड में मैं एक लाइन बोलता हूँ, योर कमेंट्स, योर अप्रिशिएशन, your feedbacks are the best appreciation for me, so this is my request from your side. You just I just require your feedback, so please provide your feedbacks in the WhatsApp group so I can improve in myself or I can motivate myself. So thank you for today. I am going to sign off for today. If you have any query, feel free to raise the queries in the chat box. One question is there, where to approach if genuine mistake done for updating GSTR1 and GSTR3B, physical visit in jurisdictional office or online application in portal available. So sir, first you need to make the application to the jurisdictional officer. Then after, if jurisdictional officer is not going to help you in that particular case, in that case you just need to file an appeal to the jurisdictional officer. Okay, this is 100% sure. In that particular case, jurisdictional officer is not going to help you, or jurisdictional officer is not going to give any fruitful result to you. In that particular case, you just need to go for the appeal. Okay, so for first thing, you just need to raise one grievance on the GSTN portal. Second, immediately send the copy of that particular grievance and your complete deliberation, your complete content, your complete grounds with certain case studies to the jurisdictional commissioner, and then after file a appeal. Okay, so this is the process to handle this type of situation. Okay sir, so if you have any query, then you can raise the queries, and if not, then I am going to sign off for today. So thank you, good night, मिलते हैं और किसी सेशन में, and thank you, thank you, thank you.